A rookie FBI agent with almost psychic intuition tries to solve an unsolved series of family murders that are too similar to be a coincidence. Almost every review that I have seen for Longlegs compares it to Se7en and Silence of the Lambs, and I can't disagree. It is a dark and gritty movie about a serial killer where we follow law enforcement trying to solve the crime. Tone-wise, I think it's a little bit closer to Se7en, where you almost feel like you need a shower when it ends. Lead Maika Monroe really embodies her character, FBI Agent Lee Harker. She is smart and capable, but she's also a little green and nervous and clearly has some childhood issues that become more evident once we meet her mother. The only other movie that I've seen her in is the now approaching cult status It Follows, which is a must-see movie for any horror fan. Harker spends a whole lot of time with her superior officer, Agent Carter, played by the silky, deep-voiced Blair Underwood. The movie is definitely a slow burn and is a lot more atmosphere than action. Every scene is dimly lit with a slow-moving camera and an eerie score that just sets the tone. That's not to say there's no action, it just makes the little burst of action that we do get throughout more shocking and meaningful. Even when nothing is happening, I was on the edge of my seat because of the way that the camera frames the shots. As an example, in one scene, Lee Harker is in her home office opening a letter that she knows is from the killer. The room is dark, the music is creepy, and the background right over Harker's shoulder is just an open door leading into the rest of her dark house. While I should have been focused on the letter and what it said, I was focused on that dark rectangle over Harker's shoulder because that is where the camera wanted me to look. It's shots like this that really elevated this movie to another level for me. As the story unfolds, we learn a bit more about Longlegs, the killer who has stumped law enforcement for decades, but we never really learn why he is called Longlegs. The character of Longlegs is played by Nicolas Cage, who is nearly unrecognizable. More so than any other horror movie villain in recent memory, Cage's performance of Longlegs is so weird and over the top and creepy that it quit being scary and actually started being hilarious. It is strange how close horror and comedy can be. The script is pretty decent, but a lot of things are telegraphed from miles away. It didn't take away from the story, it just kind of built anticipation for something the audience knew was gonna happen eventually. It's a movie with a pretty small cast, and each one of those cast members adds a whole lot to the story and the overall vibe of the movie. Now, if you're in the mood for a dark and dreary, creepy movie, Longlegs is a good choice. It feels a bit more accessible than the other Osgood Perkins directed film that I've seen, The Black Coat's Daughter. Now, speaking of Osgood Perkins, did you know that his dad is Anthony Perkins, aka Norman Bates? Now, while I didn't love the big reveal in Longlegs and wish the story had taken a more traditional serial killer movie path, I really enjoyed the journey. This is definitely one that I will be revisiting during spooky season. Creepily lifelike dolls, eerie lighting, nuns and Volkswagen Beetles, studying crime walls, trying to make sense of random symbols, visiting your mother who is a hoarder,